All of the April content has been announced for Pokemon Go, and in this video I will be going through all of the details for the month, and I'll be going through which raid bosses are worth your raid passes. So starting off with the 5-star raids, we have Tapu Lele up until April 4th at 10 AM, and it will know its legacy move Nature's Madness when caught from these raids. Tapu Lele will have a raid out on the 3rd. Kartana and Celesteela will then take over in their respective hemispheres from April 4th to the 12th, and their shiny forms will be released for the first time in Pokemon Go. Kartana and Celesteela will have raid hours in their respective hemispheres on April 10th. Following the Ultra Beast will be Tapu Bulu from April 12th to the 25th, and it will know its legacy move Nature's Madness for the first time. It will also have a raid out on the 17th and on the 24th. Afterwards, Registeel will be taking over from April 25th to the 2nd of May, and it will have a raid out on the 1st of May. In Mega raids for the month, we have Mega Venusaur up until April 4th at 10 AM, then Mega Charizard X will take over from the 4th to the 13th. Following this, Mega Heracross will be making its Pokemon Go debut from the 13th to the 25th. And lastly, Mega Aggron will take over from the 25th until May 2nd. And lastly, Shadow Entei will be making its debut in 5-star Shadow raids during weekends in April. I will be going through how good each of these raid bosses are in Pokemon Go later on in this video, so stay tuned for that. Moving on to the events, we have the Sizable Surprises event running from April 4th to the 9th. The details for this event are as follows. The bonuses will be 2 times XP for catching Pokemon with nice throws or better. You will also have an increased chance of finding double XS and double XL Pokemon in the wild, and you'll have an increased chance of encountering shiny Wailmer. The wild encounters will be Diglett, Mantine, Wailmer, Joltik, Tynamo, Cutiefly, Wimpod, which can be shiny for the first time starting with this event. You'll also see Citadel and rarely Onix and Snorlax. For the raids, in 1-star raids will be Fungus, Clink, Esper and Tadbulb. In 3-star raids will be Alolan Exeggutor, Galarian Weezing, Gyarados and Snorlax. In 5-star raids will be Celesteela in the southern hemisphere and Kartana in the northern hemisphere, and in Mega raids will be Mega Charizard X. In field research for the event will be Onix, Snorlax, Wailmer, Tynamo, Cutiefly and Wimpod. There will also be a collection challenge rewarding raspberries, peanut berries, XP, and encounters with Wimpod and Wailmer. Pokestop showcases will also be available throughout this event. During this event, Bagon Community Day Classic will be taking place on April 7th between 2 PM and 5 PM local time. And for this event, Bagon will be appearing more frequently in the wild, and it will have boosted shiny rates. The bonuses for the event will be 3 times catch XP, lures and incense will last for 3 hours excluding daily incense, and you'll get 5 snapshot photobomb encounters with Bagon. You can evolve Bagon's evolution Shelgon to get a Salamence that knows the dragon type charge attack Outrage. It is a good idea to remove frustration from any of your Shadow Bagon during the next Team Go Rocket takeover, so you can evolve it during this community day to get Outrage. There will be event themed field research rewarding Bagon encounters, Stardust, Great Balls and more. There will also be Pokestop showcases available throughout the event. There'll be a $1 special research and event bundles in the in-game shop. Following this will be the Bug Out event from April 12th to the 17th, with a Mega Heracross raid day on the 13th between 2 PM and 5 PM local time. April Community Day will take place on April 20th, Sustainability Week will take place on April 22nd to the 26th, and there'll be a Hatch Day on April 28th between 2 PM and 5 PM. So these are all the events for the month. For the Spotlight Hours, we have Zubat on April 2nd with 2 times Transfer Candy, Croagunk will be on the 9th with 2 times Evolution XP, on the 16th will be Caterpie, Weedle and Wurmple for the Bug Out event with 2 times Catch Stardust, Trubbish will be on the 23rd with 2 times Catch XP, and lastly Clefairy will be on the 30th with 2 times Catch Candy. So these are all the details, but which raids are actually worth raiding during April. Starting with the 5-star raids, Tapu Lele has a raid CP of 50,112 and its 100% IVs are 1996 and 2496 boosted in windy or cloudy weather. Tapu Lele is weak to poison, ghost and steel type attacks, and it will take around 3 trainers to beat on average. It doesn't have much meta relevance in Go Battle League, but as a fairy type raid attacker with Nature's Madness, it is actually pretty decent despite not having a fairy type fast attack. However, I would say Tapu Lele is a low priority Pokemon to raid. For Kartana, it will have a raid CP of 58,102 and the 100% IVs are 2102 and 2626 boosted in sunny or snowy weather. Kartana is weak to fighting and double weak to fire type attacks, so I highly recommend using fire types. This raid boss is soloable with the best counters at high levels. So Kartana doesn't have much meta relevance in Go Battle League, but it is the second best grass type attacker, so it is worth raiding for that. Remember, this Pokemon will only be available in the northern hemisphere, but you can remote raid them outside of the northern hemisphere. I would put this Pokemon at high priority to raid because of its raid attack attacking power, and because it is soloable, making it quite a convenient raid. For Celesteela, it has a raid TP of 38,774, and its 100% IVs are 1772 or 2216 boosted in snowy or windy weather. It is weak to fire and electric type attacks, and it should take around 2 or 3 trainers to beat on average. Unfortunately, Celesteela doesn't really have any meta relevance, but if you are shiny hunting, remember you can remote raid this Pokemon if you are outside of the southern hemisphere. This is a low priority Pokemon to raid. For Tapu Bulu, it has a raid TP of 49,035, and its 100% IVs are 1953 and 2442 boosted in sunny or cloudy weather. Tapu Bulu is weak to flying, steel, fire, ice, and double weak to poison type attacks, so I do recommend going for poison types for this. It should take around 2 trainers to beat on average. Tapu Bulu is currently ranked 83 in the Master League, and this is likely to improve when it gets access to Nature's Madness. However, it doesn't have any meta relevance as a raid attacker. For Registeel, it has a raid CP of 33,516, and the 100% IVs are 1398 and 1748 boosted in snowy weather. Registeel is weak to fighting, ground, and fire type attacks, and it should take around 3 or 4 trainers to beat on average. Registeel doesn't have any meta relevance as a raid attacker, but it is one of the best Pokemon in Go Battle League. It's currently ranked 2 in the Great League with 2 13 14 IVs, and it is ranked number 1 in the Ultra League with 1 10 15 IVs. As the perfect PvP IVs are lower than the 10 10 10 IV floor of raids, you could mirror trade with a friend to try and lower the attack IV. But even without the perfect PvP IVs, it will still be worth using. It is also worth noting that it does want the legacy move Zap Cannon to be at its best, which will require an elite charge TM. I would put Registeel as a high priority to raid if you play Go Battle League. For Mega Raids, starting with Mega Venusaur, it does have a raid TP of 39,235, and the 100% IVs for Venusaur are 1554 and 1943 boosted in sunny or cloudy weather. Mega Venusaur is weak to flying, fire, psychic, and ice type attacks, and it can be soloed with the best counters at high levels. Mega Venusaur is currently ranked as the 3rd best grass type attacker, but if you do have Mega Sceptile, this will be less of a priority to raid. However, Venusaur itself is ranked 71 in the Great League with 0 14 11 IVs, and it is ranked 52 in the Ultra League with 1 15 14 IVs. It's worth noting that it does want Legacy Move Frenzy Plant to be at its best. For Mega Charizard X, it will have a raid TP of 41,255, and the 100% IVs for Charizard are 1651 and 2064 boosted in sunny or windy weather. Mega Charizard X is weak to ground, rock, and dragon type attacks, and it is soloable with the best counters at high levels. Mega Charizard X will get you Mega Energy for Charizard that you can use to Mega Evolve Charizard into either Mega Charizard X or Y, and I would recommend going for Mega Charizard Y because Mega Charizard X is a top 5 fire type attacker, but Mega Charizard Y is better, being the best fire type attacker. It does have slightly lower DPS than Mega Blaziken, but a higher TDO, giving it a higher overall rating. Charizard itself is ranked 44 in the Ultra League with 0 13 15 IVs, but it does want both legacy moves Wing Attack and Blast Burn to be at its best. I would definitely recommend raiding Mega Charizard X if you haven't Mega Evolved a Charizard before, but if you do have a high level Mega Blaziken, it will be less of a priority to raid this one. So Mega Heracross will have a raid TP of 51,078, and the 100% IVs for Heracross will be 1772 and 2215 boosted in rainy or cloudy weather. Heracross is weak to fire, psychic, fairy, and double weak to flying, so I highly recommend using flying types. This raid boss will be soloable. Mega Heracross will be the best bug type Mega and the best overall bug type attacker when taking into account its TDO. It will, however, have a lower DPS than Pheromosa. It's also worth noting that Heracross is normally a regional exclusive to South America, Southern Florida, and Texas, so this will be a great time to get it if you are outside of those areas. For Mega Aggron, it does have a raid CP of 46,233, and the 100% IVs for Aggron are 1714 and 2143 boosted in snowy or partly cloudy weather. Mega Aggron is weak to fighting, ground, and fire type attacks, and it should take around 2 or 3 trainers to beat on average. Mega Aggron is a top 10 steel type attacker, but Aggron doesn't have any meta relevance in PvP. I would say this raid boss has the lowest priority out of the mega raid bosses for April. And lastly, Shadow Entei has a raid CP of 41,758, and the 100% IVs are 1984 and 2480 boosted in sunny weather. Shadow Entei is weak to ground, rock, and water type attacks, and it will take around 3 or 4 trainers to beat if you do subdue the raid boss as soon as it becomes enraged. Remember, it does take 8 purified gems to completely subdue the raid boss. Shadow Entei is a top 10 fire type attacker, and remember, this Pokemon can only be raided in person, and it is only available on Saturday and Sundays in April. I will have short counter videos up for each of these raid bosses before they go live. For the April Spotlight Hours, which ones are worth playing? So I recommend playing Caterpie, Weedle, and Wurmple Spotlight Hour if you do need XP, because these Pokemon only require 12 candy to evolve, so you can catch a lot of them with Pinap Berries to get the candy, XP, then you can store them and mass evolve them during a 2x evolution XP spotlight hour. You will also get 2x catch Stardust during this spotlight hour, so that's an extra bonus. Also, Trubbish spotlight hour is well worth playing if you need Stardust, because Trubbish gives 750 base Stardust per catch instead of 100, so I recommend using 2 star pieces and playing the entire hour if you need to build Stardust. And if you are looking for Clefable for Ultra League, it could be worth playing the Clefairy spotlight hour on the 30th. So to close out March in Pokemon Go, we do have a Team Go Rocket takeover, and if you want to know more about that, then you should check out this video next.